I can share with you my personal experience,
Yes,
but
please.
you have to promise me it doesn't leave this room. Here I am, Don Thomas, my first mission, my first day in space, and I'm making contact. My name is Don Thomas, as you said, and I'm a former NASA astronaut. I had the amazing opportunity to fly on 4 space shuttle missions. And during those missions, I spent 44 days in space and went around the Earth nearly 700 times. So I've seen a lot of planet Earth during my missions in space.
So in 44 days, you orbited the Earth around 700 times. How can this be possible?
We're traveling around the Earth at about 27,000 kilometers an hour. And every 24 hours, we orbit the Earth 16 times.
16 times.
So 16 times 24 is 692, roughly.
So we're talking about you have 16 sunrises, 16 sunsets in every single day.
Every 24-hour day.
Wow. And we only get to see one sunrise, one sunset here on planet Earth.
So it's very special up there. I tried to see as many of those as I could because each one is a little different and unique. And I knew they were very limited, so I wanted to see every single one that I could. On the space shuttle, I was part of the space shuttle program. We orbited the Earth about 300 to 400 kilometers above the Earth. So we just went in orbit around the Earth. Some kids will ask me, so where did you go?
Yeah.
And I said, well, we just went in circles.
Yeah.
That's it. But we were in orbit around the Earth, traveling at pretty good speeds.
From your missions and experience, what would you say was the most dangerous experience or incident that you have that has occurred to you?
Well, the most dangerous part of the mission, I think, for all rocket launches is the launch itself. You've got so many millions of liters of highly explosive rocket fuel, and at any second an accident can occur and everything would blow up. So the launch is the most dangerous part of the mission, in my opinion. Although we've had pretty good success in the space shuttle program, we only had one failure during launch itself.
Yeah. If we talk about the sun, if you are in the space shuttle and you are actually looking at the sun, what would the color of the sun look like?
The sun is bright, bright white, and it's a lot brighter than it appears here on Earth. We shouldn't look at the sun at all, but if you glance at it up in space, you'll see it is burning bright because none of that sunlight gets filtered by our atmosphere. It's straight from the sun right to your eye. So it was noticeably brighter in space, so I couldn't even glance at it. When I was about to watch a sunset, I would have to block the sun with my hand until it hit the upper layer of the atmosphere and started to dim. Then I could pull my hand away and enjoy the sunset or sunrise.
And can you recognize them? Like, can you recognize maybe the countries or the continents from space, or?
Before you travel on your first mission, we get a lot of training on Earth observation, we call it. So they show us pictures of the Earth so that you can recognize features when you get up there. On my first mission, when I looked out the window, I didn't know what I was looking at. I could tell if it's either blue, it's water, or if it's brown, it's dirt. I wanted to see Mount Everest. Not just the Himalaya mountains, but I wanted to identify and get my eyes on Mount Everest.
And you can see that.
And you could see that. And I would train for it. I had a map to show me which mountain is Mount Everest when I'm looking at the whole Himalaya range.
Perfect. I just have 2 more questions. If we talk about alien life, now I know that you hear this a lot, but have you ever seen aliens? Like everyone claims that NASA or the scientists, they always try to hide. They always see aliens and spaceships, but they try to hide. Is this true?
I can share with you my personal experience,
Yes,
but you have to promise me it doesn't leave this room. There's no
We're
way
videotaping, so
nobody else will hear this.
Please tell us.
I'll tell you this story. On my very first mission, the first day of my flight, I'm looking out the window of the shuttle, and the sky is pitch black. And I notice a light flashing out there, and it's flashing once a second. Flash, flash, flash. So it catches my attention. And I'm watching this, and I notice it's moving with the space shuttle. I can see city lights down below. It's not down there. This thing is moving with us. So I'm thinking, what a great fortune. Here I am, Don Thomas, my first mission, my first day in space, and I'm making contact with the alien life. That's what I thought. I studied this for about 10 minutes, and I finally realized what I was looking at. And what it turned out to be was a chunk of ice that had come off the back of our engines. And this ice was turning in the air like this.
Reflecting light.
And it had a flat side to it. And when the light would hit it, it was like a mirror to give you a flash.
I see.
So what I thought was an alien turned out to be a chunk of ice. Now, had I quit looking at that 5 minutes earlier, I would be sitting here tonight telling you a totally different story. Oh, I saw something, it was signaling me, and then the sun came up and it disappeared.
Yeah.
So we see strange things from space. But most of the time, if you observe them and study them, you can figure out what you're looking at.
You can explain them scientifically.
You can explain them scientifically. Now, having said that, I do believe there's other life out in the universe. With the Hubble Space Telescope, we took an image of the sky about the size of the disk of the full moon. And in that one image, they found 15,000 galaxies.
Yeah.
And each galaxy, we think, has 10 billion stars, and we think each star has multiple planets. And we think these galaxies are evenly distributed across the sky. So given all those galaxies, all those stars, all the planets, I think somewhere out there, there's got to be other life. We have not seen it yet. I'm not convinced that anybody's seen it. But I do think it exists out there.
I agree with you. I think you are talking about the Hubble Deep Field, right?
Yes.
This image, yeah. Okay, I would like to thank you very much, and thank you for answering the questions.